Hey everybody, it's Angie from Trips with Angie, and we are here in Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island, getting ready to go on our celebrity shore excursion, the island's scenic drive, Anne and Lobster. I was so excited to come to this port to live all of my Anne of Green Gables dreams, and it's a little foggy, so I'm hoping it clears by the time we start this excursion in about 2 hours.
Charlottetown has a lovely port terminal with a lot of volunteers and helpers in case you have any questions. They have a wonderful visitor infrastructure, plus a lot of gift shops. So you can buy all types of souvenirs here, including jewelry, some great photo opportunities, and then a great boardwalk to head into town.
So we got off the ship a little bit early because this excursion will be coming back right at all aboard time. And we're walking around. They have a wonderful visitor center and gift shop right in the terminal, and you can pick up a map, and on the map it shows you different routes to walk around town, including the lines that are drawn on the sidewalk so you can't get lost.
You can see the yellow and green lines here painted right on the sidewalk, and you can match that to the map they give you at the visitor center. I, of course, had to head straight to the Anne of Green Gables store. Then we headed down to the port area where we found the Cow's ice cream shop, which has very cordial to try. There's also a food hall and market if you want a snack. We arrived around lunchtime. Then it was 11:15 and time to meet up on our tour. We headed out on a large bus. There was about 45 of us all together and headed to the other side of the island. It was about an hour ride to get to our first stop, which was the North Rustic Harbor. Along the way, we passed a lot of oyster and mussel farms. So Prince Edward Island produces 80% of all of the mussels in Canada. They also produce a lot of the oysters that are available. The oysters grow in traps, the mussels grow on ropes. So a lot to learn here. I wish we had more time when we were in Prince Edward Island to try some of the mussels or the oysters, but it was kind of a short port day, but I'll definitely be coming back. At the harbor, the tour guide took us down to the docks to see a lobster trap and explain how lobster fishing works and all of the conservation efforts that are ongoing to make sure that lobstering continues to be available for both fishermen and families for the generations to come. Then it was time to head back into the bus and drive along the coast. Absolutely beautiful. We arrived at Anne of Green Gables Heritage Place, where we found the gift shop and the bathrooms in case you need them. There's also a large display area that talks about the history of the author Montgomery. This is built on the farm that her great-great-grandparents had. As many tourist locations, it has a small convenience store and food shack where you can get poutine and beaver tails, which are kind of famous Canadian treats if you want to try some of that food, as well as a Slurpee and soda. There's a barn area that you can see the type of wagon they would take, and a beautiful display about friendship that might have inspired Anne and Diane's friendship. So here's a view of the barn kind of from the back. There's also a set of bathrooms back here. So if the bathrooms right by the gift shop are very busy, there is this second set you're looking at right now. So you can kind of sneak by the line and come back here to the house. So you can walk through the house with the beautiful furnishings that would have been what was around at the time Montgomery set Anne of Green Gables. I just love this. I felt like I was walking through the book. Now, this wasn't the set. So if you've seen some of the miniseries based on the books, it's not like they recreated the sets from the movies. It's more just a glimpse into what that time period was like and what the home furnishings would have been. It's so interesting to see all the chopped up rooms, you know, because nowadays everything's so open, but obviously for heating purposes, they didn't want such an open air to heat. But they've done a wonderful job recreating it. It's a one-way walkthrough, so it doesn't get too congested. You do have to go up and down a set of very steep, narrow stairs, so keep that in mind. And then here's the sewing room, which that was a big important part of the book, if you remember. And then here's a view of the house from the side. They also have a haunted woods trail, which I thought was so fun because, again, that played a big role in the books. And I thought this just captured exactly what they talk about in the books. Heading away from the Heritage Place, we passed the cemetery where Montgomery is buried. Those two hedges signify her grave. Then we headed to Prince Edward Island Preserve Company for our lobster lunch. So lobster lunch started with a tomato soup. You could also purchase local beers and wines. Beer was $10 Canadian. It was in this beautiful room. And then you got your lobster dinner. My husband luckily showed me how to do it. If you didn't want lobster, they had potato pie, chicken crepes, or they also had fish cakes. Around the back, definitely head back here because there's an absolutely gorgeous garden. I mean, look at these flowers. So we were here in September. It was just beautiful. And then they have another special garden area where they do ask you to make a small donation to explore a little bit more, but definitely worth a walk around the back of the restaurant if you take this excursion. We did feel a little bit rushed. We were running late on our excursion, but we ended up spending about an hour and 15 minutes here to eat our lunch. Dessert was raspberry preserve cheesecake pie. And then here we are pulling away from the dock because we were the last people to get on board. Overall, a great excursion.